3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Toon Clash! We're continuing our Nickelodeon bracket. This is the third matchup with Avatar: The Legend of Korra versus the Fairly OddParents. Two very, very different shows.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. Ugh.
They're both on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
They're both animated.
Well,
Right.
well, one was mostly on Nickelodeon, and then
until they
Oh.
just got all weird.
Oh, good
Oh,
question. Do you think the Fairly OddParents is gonna be on all access?
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh god, that's crazy.
That ain't happening.
No, I don't think so either.
Fairly OddParents, and well, both of these I think were pretty enjoyable shows for their time. And then Fairly OddParents, I remember loving Fairly OddParents. Like when they had that whole channel chasers thing, I remember like being super excited for that. Or when they had the crossover with Jimmy Neutron, and like just seeing Timmy Turner as a character, and then Cosmo and Wanda. Well, Cosmo before they Flanderize him, and it's gonna be weird saying Cosmo now with Cosmodori. It's just gonna be like, yeah.
Imagine
Dude,
being in my shoes for most of my school years. Imagine being named Cosmo in middle school.
If we're talking about Fairly OddParents, then I cannot stand Cosmo.
Mhm.
Like, annoying character, piece of shit, always getting on my nerves. And also the fairy that was named Cosmo, he also was a piece of shit.
Okay, if I leave the call, will you
No-
be able
no
to catch
bullying.
that on Craig?
No
Will you be able to
bullying.
Catch that on Craig?
no bullying on this bracket.
Yeah.
It's fine. He's right.
I'm
Putting
goofing.
myself out.
Hi, Wanda! Oh!
So Saber, you mean
Funny thing is, I don't like Cosmo either. Like, for most of the appearances he made, at least, he's a
Talking about
very
the character,
annoying
right?
character. Yeah,
I really thought this was going to a deep, depressing thing for a second.
Yeah, me too.
I was like-
His videos suck.
gotta
But,
be very
no.
introverted in this one.
But go on, Cosmo. You were saying like
No.
you didn't care for him.
Yeah, no. With him being one of the main characters, it's kind of unfortunate because they like put so much focus on him. Of course they're going to, but all the characters around him are just completely annoying aside from Wanda. So most of what I enjoyed from the show was just his interactions with Wanda and maybe some of his friends.
I like
But-
jogging by the triangle because he was bopping about the biceps, the triceps on my side. I love that guy. That guy was funny.
Sure, the side characters are fun, but it just got depressing to think that Timmy would be living in this world. I guess
Wasn't there that effed up episode where like it was found out that Timmy is actually a 58-year-old man, and he was just like constantly reliving the same time over because like he
What?
made a wish. Well, yeah, there was an episode where in later seasons, because I remember someone posted this thing. It was either on Twitter or Tumblr, and they posted this thing of like Timmy Turner is a disgusting human being. He's actually a 58-year-old man, and he's reliving the same time. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And then there was this episode called I forget. I think it was called The Trial or something like that. But what happened was he was about to get a wish, have his like millionth wish or 100th wish or something like that, and then he went to a thing, and they're like, what was this missing wish right here? And it was like, oh, I wished he made Cosmo forget. And so like he constantly wished to be 10. So like the years just been a cycle. So every time he like has an episode, like the reason he doesn't age is because like, oh, he's just in a year cycle, like constantly renewing and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's pretty
that's how the show can keep going on.
I might have seen that episode, but it kind of has the same problem as Danny Phantom in that the episodes are so similar. They are so similarly structured that every time they have an original plot, it just gets downplayed by the way the show just like acts and the characters are interact with each other, and the comedy is just the same every time.
Yeah, I know, Saber, you did a video last year about like what ruined Fairly OddParents, because this is one of the shows that like went on for way longer than it should have.
With a lot of content too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I went down the drain. Just too much. And also, like, I don't know. Because I loved Fairly OddParents when it first came out. I enjoyed the hell out of that show. And it was right up there with, like, SpongeBob and as far as me watching on Nickelodeon goes. Where I'm like, okay, let's watch it's Nickelodeon. Let's watch SpongeBob and Fairly OddParents and fucking Avatar. I am to the air around the same time. But regardless, like, it was good. And I think Nickelodeon hoped to achieve with Fairly Odd Parents what they did with SpongeBob. They're like, wow, we have another contender, another memorable set of characters in a universe and stuff. But like, while SpongeBob has been going for a very long time, I feel like they exhausted the entire universe of Fairly Odd Parents like pretty quickly. Where it's like, okay, what else is there to say about this? Like, I'm getting bored with this stuff. So
Yeah.
Also, it's funny how Cosmo talked like this, and then he talks like this because he's stupid, and like over time.
I hated that. Like, I hated how they flanderized him. Like, because in the first 3 episodes, even though he was annoying, he wasn't like as bad. Because later on, like post pregnancy, because he got pregnant and gave birth to a baby, which is interesting, very progressive show. And it's just like one of those things. It's just very, very interesting. Like how much they did with that character. Just like, I'm this stupid character, but now I'm able to do this little thing. I gave birth to this, but then like he just gradually became more annoying. Timmy Turner was just sort of a character that's just. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you gonna say something?
Oh, I mean, it's basically the same thing they did with Homer, where he talked like this in the early seasons. And he wasn't as stupid.
Yeah, there's so many characters like they flanderize like to death. It's just it's annoying because like Timmy as a character by himself, I was just sort of like, he's all right. I mean, it makes sense why he acts the way he does. He's a 10-year-old kid, and then like his friends like Chester and AJ, like I did think it was a bit weird how they changed their voices and like I think
that bothered me.
That really bothered me too. Where they changed his voices because
they can't afford Frankie Muniz all the time, so that's why.
That was Frankie Muniz. Oh my god,
that's who it was.
Yeah, it was.
Do you guys hear how Frankie Muniz apparently has amnesia, like, and doesn't remember recording, like...
That's why the voices changed.
Well, who was AJ? Because AJ changed too. Did his voice just get deeper or something? Was it like a Gerald thing where his voice just got deeper? And
maybe.
I have no idea. But yeah, that was weird to me. The side characters, again, like, Timmy's mom was hot. I'll give that.
Really? You think that?
What?
I thought Timmy's mom was pretty... Yeah, Timmy's mom. I thought she was. Well, I saw some.
Well, one of the best characters.
What do you think of the parents, by the way?
Yeah, one of the best characters is Timmy's dad.
Yeah.
Like, Timmy's dad was funny. Like, so I'm respecting your privacy by knocking, but asserting my authority as your parent by coming in anyway and just bashing the door down. That was great.
I know we're not talking about it yet, but I kind of feel like Timmy's dad was what Jimmy's dad wished it could have been.
Jimmy's dad's amazing. What are you talking about?
No, I don't.
Jim.
Jimbo. You been hit this once there, Jimmy? What you mentioned? Like $5,000.
Oh God.
I told Carl from Jimmy Neutron now he wanted to get with Jimmy's mom. Oh, your mom's
Jimmy's
so
mom was
hot,
hot.
Jimmy.
Save it for the next match.
Yeah, we'll save it for
Yeah.
Oh God.
So yeah.
Want to talk about Korra?
Sure.
Yeah.
Korra. I thought was like a pretty good. Like, Korra is like one of those shows that is mixed with me in some aspects, because like the first season I thought was pretty like good. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, and like it was supposed to end there, so I was like, oh, okay, that's a pretty interesting end. And then it took forever for season 2 to come out, and then like season 2 came out, and the first half of season 2 I did not care for at all until she met Juan, and then she met Juan, and it picked up a bit, and Korra became more likable. She wasn't just like a whiny brat. Book 3, I think, is fucking incredible. I think book 3 is just some like Avatar Last Airbender quality stuff, in my opinion. I love book 3. And then
that's the best one.
Yeah, and then book 4, I thought book 4 was like, it was mixed. It was a bit mixed to me. Like, there's some parts I really liked, but then there's some parts I was like, really? Well, this could have been solved by this, and this could have happened here, and why didn't you help here when you could have done? And it's just like there was a bunch of stuff in there, and then I thought it was just like all right thing, in my opinion.
Well, I think the show sort of put itself into a position where you can't help but compare it to The Last Airbender, obviously, because they set it out to be a continuation, but it doesn't hit the same beats. It's not about the comedy as much. It's more about the characters and having a plot for each season, because they couldn't be more different from one another.
Yeah,
Right.
because like unlike The Last Airbender, like
There
Korra was just meant to be one season.
Yeah. And you kind of feel that. It's not so much that the show got worse over time, but even the seasons themselves are so different from one another. Like, season 2 tried to achieve such different things than, say, season 1. because they needed to establish the universe, which I think they did a good job of. Season 2 was more about finding a spiritual side, which season 3 really built upon, and it's about the development of Korra throughout the series, but the villains are different ones each time. The characters get vastly different from season to season, and you can either be into that or it can get annoying very quickly. How the tone in the series can drag on a little. Like sometimes I felt like some episodes weren't really needed, and it just should have gotten to the point sooner. But with that being said, the storytelling in the show, sometimes I preferred over The Last Airbender because it wasn't as comedy driven. Which I'm not saying it is a better show. I'm just saying that in that regard, it did a better job of like also incorporating these spiritual elements it wanted to put in the show, because like each season has a different theme and stuff. So yeah, I think it's a more mature show.
Yeah, the action and animation is still really good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like an Avatar quality, is just to be like that damn good. Like there are scenes in Korra that you look at and you're just like, I'm just awestruck by like the work they put in. Like there are some things that are a bit clunky, like in book 4, that whole CGI mecha thing, whatever it is, like that was a bit clunky to me. But besides that, when they were just 2D animation focusing on this, I like that Korra's buff and ripped. I thought that was pretty cool. Like that was my thing right there. But character wise, like the whole thing with like Korra and Mako having this thing back and forth, like that was, I remember that was one of the things that was just sort of it didn't hit right with me. But then like season 2 like wrapped it up, so I did like that thing.
What's the character that says do the thing?
It was Julie, not Julie.
Varric.
God, Varric.
Varric, yeah.
The other thing, Julie.
Yeah, he was fun.
Yeah, he was fun. Asami was like cool. I like the fact she was just, super chill about like, oh yeah, I'm a millionaire or something like that, and I can able to fight martial arts, and I'm pretty chill at what I can do. And then Bolin was just like the Sokka type, just buff Sokka type, and he was, I mean, honestly, looking at Bolin, I was just always a bit like, on his character. Like it was just like I wanted you to be like sort of badass here, and he had his badass moments, but sometimes he was just like a bit too goofy instead of like, okay, this is when you need to be serious right now, instead of like, this is a very dangerous situation, why are you acting this way? Like that always sort of took me out of it. But
well, Sokka was like, he had a good blend of like being the comedy relief, but also like being a leader, and you see him grow into becoming a bit more serious character, but he knew when he had to get serious.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's a major difference. Is Sokka, when like Sokka was a goofball throughout the series, but when it came time for action, he was reliable. He was a good leader. He was really intelligent. He knew how to make plans. He was able to make inventions.
Well, that was part of his character arc.
Yeah, exactly.
From the very beginning, he was trying to fit in his father's shoes and be like a chieftain, not chieftain, but like a leader. And you do need some levity like that. You need some comedy to break up the serious tone and kind of reset you, so it's not just constant like war for a kids show,
Right? Yeah, but like also in like the first season though, with like Sokka, he was a character where like even though you were just thought of him as a goofball up until a point, he was like talking about like, okay, this is how you can make this fly with air and the science, and like how he was doing, like, because remember when they went to visit that air temple with the kid without the legs, like where he and he was like, oh, this is how you can make this like work better. So, but enough about Sokka, that's another topic. But Bolin, there were times where he just came off too goofy for the situation, where I was like, this is this time to be utmost seriousness, and it was just like that was just a bit meant to me personally. But the villains, I think Amon was like really intimidating. Like Steve Bloom brought like a great like voice to Amon. Forget Unalaki, bitch. And then like what was it, Rava was like the thing he bought. And then like oh god, it's my favorite season, but I can't remember what they were called. What were they called in the book 3?
Zahir
and like what was their gang called?
Red Lotus. Red Lotus.
Red Lotus.
Red Lotus was absolutely great, and that shows why the show got kicking off Nick with the way they died in horrible ways. But and then Kuvira was great. Like I thought overall the show like had a great story, and it was more adult oriented, but there were some parts where like hit or miss, huh? Like it's just like there's certain things that you work with, things don't.
I guess you never miss.
Yeah. I do like how the show where it's in the future of that world, where stuff is a little bit more modern, is more like industrial, and they like continuing on. It always like fascinated me with certain shows and their settings about like what would it look like in the future, and that sort of answered that in Korra with Avatar. So it see how like they would progress with having these people that have these bending powers.
If they make a new show, it's going to be in modern times, and then like it's going to be like mutants or something, like X-Men or something like that.
Because I really like the police with the metal benders.
Mhm.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was. Well, Pan, you have anything to say on Korra?
Well, I don't know. I only watched the show like the first 2 seasons, and I remember season 2 not being as good, so I can't really say much for season 3. But Fairly Odd. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to compare to Fairly Odd Parents. So they both essentially had a good first season and progressively got worse, maybe. But you guys say it got better, so I don't know.
Only the second season is really bad.
Yeah, the second season is really bad, and then okay.
I'd say the Fairly Odd Parents kind of peaked around season 3.
When was the last time they had their final Jimmy Timmy Power Hour?
I don't know, season 6 maybe. Not
Season
sure.
6. Okay, because I think that's.
I honestly have no idea.
No, okay, because I know everything. It's funny. Like there are shows that you can just look at and go like, before this character came in, that was like pretty good. Like you would say, like pre-Poof days, like before. The baby showed up. Like those are like, oh, those are the seasons you can like watch, and then like they have good and some bad, but you can still enjoy them and like get something out of it. And then like once they get to like, oh, this character comes in, they just especially like, well, they added like 3 of those characters. They added Poof, they added Sparky, they added that freaking
Chloe.
girl. Yeah, whatever. yeah. So like,
I'd say pre-anti-Poof when they introduced him the season after. Some Poof episodes were fine. But you could tell
Poof
that
talked.
Oh yeah,
because Poof started talking like he actually like started like communicating besides saying his name, so that was interesting.
Yeah, that wasn't that what anti-Poof was for? The whole anti-version shtick that every character has to have an evil counterpart suddenly. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, like evil Cosmo was.
Are we even allowed to criticize the show though? That's what I'm wondering.
No.
I can't believe we haven't talked about Crocker.
Crocker!
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Crocker is interesting. I thought Crocker was funny, like with his ear neck or whatever the fuck.
It's his ear on his neck.
I like that though, like he used to have Cosmo and Wanda, they used to be his fairies until like something terrible happened to him on that date, and then like because Timmy went back in time and just completely effed it up for him, so like that's why he turned into that thing, and then why his hair fell off and his ear went to his neck, and it was just like all this stuff, and then like he was running past Bill Gates and stuff like that, and he was saying, oh wow, that's Bill Gates right there. It's like, I'm gonna create something, I'm gonna create the internet. It's like, well, that's stupid, don't call it the internet, call it the Timmy. Oh, that's even better. Thanks. Then he drives off and he like goes because oh my god.
Oh yeah, the internet thing was like a running gag they had. It was like, where'd you find that out? Internet.
Oh, okay. Funny. Oh, yeah, that was funny. Like the Arthur thing too, with the guy who's like, I can see, I can fight.
Yeah, that was great.
That was quotable for some reason. I always said that line when I was with my buddy watching the show. I can see onion rings or whatever. Wasn't that the glasses for a while, like onion rings or something like that? I forget.
Onion rings? What do you mean?
Didn't he have onion rings for glasses or something like that?
No, he was just blind. I think he was just. Yeah. I don't remember. I don't think he had onion rings. I'm not sure.
Yeah. He just like gave him glasses,
and then he got super jacked and did it. But okay then. Like, what do y'all think overall? Then, like, where are we heading in this? Then.
I mean, don't know.
Overall, I think Fairly Odd Parents has the better characters, and for the most part, at least, and better comedy, obviously.
Okay.
I like its style. It's simplistic, looks nice. They did what they did with it before they went into Flash.
Okay.
Yeah. So Cosmo, you're going for Fairly Odd Parents?
Oh no, definitely not. Absolutely not.
That should be a clip right there. Oh no.
Yeah, no. Korra is very dear to me. I like it a lot, and I'm very glad it happened because like the anticipation waiting for that show when it was announced there's going to be a sequel to Avatar. That was like the hardest year of my life, just waiting for Korra to come out.
Right.
It did not disappoint. So yeah, I'd say season 2 was sort of a bummer, but the whole rest of it, I want to get into it. Should it move on into the next round? But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything either because I know you haven't watched it, Pan, and I think there's some like very exciting stuff going on in the later seasons, and it's not a very predictable show. There's some surprises here and there. It was probably better to like keep up with it when it was airing, even though like the airing was just ridiculous. But yeah, no, I much prefer Korra.
Okay, cool.
So I can't vote on this. I haven't watched Korra.
Wait,
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you were the one who got me into it, bro.
What?
You were the one who told me to watch it back in 2012.
I watched the first season. That's it. Like, how am I supposed to vote on something I haven't seen?
Oh yeah, right. You haven't seen it either.
That doesn't seem
You're a
right.
tiebreaker.
You can still vote.
Yeah.
I've only seen like a little bit of Penguins, but I voted SpongeBob.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
In that case, I vote for Fairly OddParents. I think it's funnier. I think it's got great characters, great little universe. It definitely kind of peters out after a while, where it just like it burns out, like the same way SpongeBob does. And but like in the first season of Korra, I'm like, this is just a pale comparison to The Last Airbender. I'm like, it's cute. I see a lot of similarities, and it's cool to see the universe expanded. But it felt like fucking like Star Wars, like the new trilogy after like the original trilogy, where it's like, okay, and there's some things here I like, but still just it's a sequel.
Okay. See? There you go.
Pan?
Yeah. It's like I don't really care for either of these shows. Fairly Odd Parents.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Jax.
Well, I guess I'm definitely going with Korra because book 3 is some Avatar: The Last Airbender quality stuff, and I think it was a great, like it was a show with a slow start, but it definitely got its like footing, and I do appreciate it a lot more. And the animation, the quality, the fight scenes, the characters, I did enjoy. So there, I'm gonna go Korra.
All right, Paleo.
All right. So I guess I'm the tiebreaker then.
Yep.
So both of these shows I think are good. Fairly Odd Parents is very funny, at least from what I remember when I saw it as a kid, and like rewatching some like clips as an adult. And Legend of Korra, though, I recently watched because I recently watched both through The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra a couple of years ago. And Korra, I think it tells a really good story. There's some like low points in it, but I think overall it's like really good. And like you said, Cosmo, like sometimes the characters are kind of inconsistent throughout the seasons. But I still think it tells a good enough story, and like it has a bit of emotional impact in those good moments in it to where I think it's the better show. So yeah, Legend of Korra.
Yes.
Ooh yeah.
I'm happy.
There we go. Same.
Don't be
Good
mad,
one.
Butch.
So yeah,
Don't-
so
please,
Avatar:
don't-
Legend of Korra is going on to the next round.
Yay.
We'll see you guys in the next matchup.